Hi, welcome to my channel. Tonight I wanted to just read part of this Hatchet by Paulsen. Ooh, so much glare. This is a book that I read when I was in 5th grade. We read it out loud in my class, and I am rereading it because I was just curious to see if I like it as much as I remember liking it from then, and which is an interesting thing because I'm very interested in the interaction that schooling has on how people's literary life goes, and what things they enjoy in school, what things they don't, how does it impact reading. So in this case, for this book, I happen to remember it very fondly, and so I'm reading it. I'm not quite done with it, but I wanted to share one part of it that I really thought was cool, because there's a lot of, I love the survivalist aspect, survival mindset, and this was kind of it reminded me of sort of the Charlotte Mason nature study thing, and how you can, once you learn about something and then you start seeing it everywhere. So that kind of thing. And it happens with lots of things. So like if you, if you get a Volkswagen Bug for a car and then suddenly you start seeing them everywhere, just when your mind starts keying into something, kind of like a clue, and then you're able to see better. So this was a really cool quote, or couple paragraphs that I enjoyed. All right. So he's trying to hunt these, he calls them fool birds, because they will just stay still until he almost trips on them, but he never sees them until he trips on them, and then he can't get something to eat, I guess. At first the hunt had not gone well. He saw plenty of birds working up along the shore of the lake to the end, then down the other side, but he only saw them after they flew. He had to find a way to see them first. See them and get close enough to either shoot them with the bow or use the spear, and he could not find a way to see them. When he had gone halfway around the lake and had jumped up 20 or so birds, he finally gave up and sat at the base of a tree. He had to work this out, see what he was doing wrong. There were birds there and he had eyes. He just had to bring the two things together. Looking wrong, he thought. I am looking wrong. More than that, I am being wrong somehow. I am doing it the wrong way. Fine, sarcasm came into his thoughts. I know that, thank you. I know I'm doing it wrong, but what is right? The morning sun had cooked him until it seemed his brain was frying, sitting by the tree, but nothing came until he got up and started to walk again, and hadn't gone 2 steps when a bird got up. It had been there all the time, while he was thinking about how to see them, right next to him, right there. He almost screamed. But this time, when the bird flew away, something caught his eye, and it was the secret key. The bird cut down toward the lake, then, seeing it couldn't land in the water, turned and flew back up the hill into the trees. When it turned, curving through the trees, the sun had caught it, and Brian, for an instant, saw it as a shape, a sharp pointed in front, back from the head in a streamlined bullet shape to the fat body. Kind of like a pear, he had thought, with a point on one end and a fat little body, a flying pear. And that had been the secret. He had been looking for feathers, for the color of the bird, for a bird sitting there. He had to look for the outline instead. Had to see the shape instead of the feathers or color. Had to train his eyes to see the shape. It was like turning on a television. Suddenly he could see things he never saw before. In just moments, it seemed, he saw 3 birds before they flew, saw them sitting and got close to one of them, moving slowly, got close enough to try a shot with his bow. He had missed that time and had missed many more. But he saw them. He saw the little fat shapes with the pointed heads sitting in the brush all over the place. So that was just a part I enjoyed. It's really neat when you start being more intentional about noticing things in nature. And that's, really an aspect I do really like about this book, is because he was like a city boy, and then he goes and gets crash landed in this in the Canadian wilderness, and is seeing things for the first time and hearing things that he's never listened to before, never really been still and quiet and out in the country, just in the wilderness like that. So it's just a neat thing when you start looking for things and letting that quiet and let the the noise and the media of all kinds and everything go away, and be out in nature and listen and see and use your eyes and ears that God gave you. That's a really neat thing. So I'd encourage you to do that. And it's a good encouragement for me too, to be calm and still, and to be outside and enjoy God's nature, God's creation. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoy that.